Hi, everybody. We're going to do another Facebook Live here, and I appreciate you joining us for this, whether or not you are somebody who's going to come on live during this or you're watching the tape afterwards. This is about what is the number one killer of productivity in your life. What gets in the way of you doing what you know to do and operating at peak performance? My name is Pat Finn, and I'm the head coach for the Rubicon Results Institute. And we study peak performers. We look at the science behind it. We look at the neuroscience behind it. Not only what there is to do to operate at peak performance, but also what gets in the way of that. Maybe even more important, what gets in the way of that. Toni Morrison once said that if you want to fly, you have to be willing to drop the things that weigh you down. And this is about what weighs you down, what pulls you back from being in action and producing something really incredible for yourself. So this is an opportunity for us for the next few minutes just to look at that, to make a difference in your life, to be in action, to produce the results that you're committed to producing in your life. So as we look at this and we consider it, I want you to start to look at for yourself, what would that be? What do you know is the thing that gets in the way of you just doing what you know to do? I had somebody say to me recently, why is it that when there's something that you know would make a difference, that you know is important to do, and yet you still don't do it? What is happening in that moment? Now, as you're looking at this, I want you to consider that most people would say it has something to do with resistance or procrastination. At the Rubicon Results Institute, we have something about cutting the crap, your CRAP, your conditioned resistance and procrastination. And it's all about seeing that you've been conditioned to hold back, to resist, to have that force or seeming force get in the way of you being in action. That is an important component, and we help you work through that in our mastermind teams. We have 12 people on a mastermind team that we hold to account to produce results, and we help people get to the point where there's a zero resistance in their life of what's important to them. But that's not the number one thing stopping productivity. You have a guess on what it might be? What do you think gets in the way of you actually being in action? Because it's all about being in action. A perfect time to take action is now. You know that, and yet you still don't do it. So as you start to look at it, I want you to consider that the reason that you don't do what you know to do in the first place is because you know you've got tomorrow, mañana. It's what gets in the way for everybody. See, if you don't pull it off now, you can get around to it later. Or if I'm not going to have that kind of a conversation with somebody that's important to me right now, I'll get around to having that conversation later, or I'll take that action later, or there's always going to be a second chance. And what I want you to consider is maybe you're waiting for the perfect timing, the perfect circumstances, and there are no perfect circumstances. The time to act is now. You've all heard the George Patton quote where he says that a good plan violently executed is better than a perfect plan executed next week. We mostly don't operate that way. I have a different quote that's similar to that I think is my favorite. It's from Sheryl Sandberg, who said that done is better than perfect. See, it's all about what is it that gets in the way of you being in action. And if you start to just notice underneath all the excuses, all the justifications, all the reasons that you're waiting, underneath all of that is because you know that you get another chance. Now, if you've ever seen yourself under pressure, like if you say, I'm really good at under pressure, or I get things done last minute before the deadlines, that's a false urgency that's there for you that allows you to now operate at peak performance. Or if there's ever been, God forbid, somebody in your life or yourself who's been given a finite amount of time to live, like at some point my mom was given 3 to 5 months to live from cancer. And the quality of the conversations, the things that we did, the being present, so present during that time period was at a whole other level than it had ever been in our entire lives. Now, thank God my mom, had this amazing operation and she lived for another 10 years after that. But the point is that what was it that had us call ourselves forth during that time period where we thought there was a limited amount of time? One of the things we do with Rubicon is that we box people in. We do this over 10 weeks. There's weekly stretch promises. There's daily accountability check-ins that you're boxed in, so you're not waiting for mañana, for tomorrow, like you're in action and creating that now. And that's what I invite you to consider. See, most people during the pandemic spent some time waiting, the uncertainty, not knowing how it's going to turn out. Well, I want you to consider that this is how it turned out. This is it. It may be like this for a while. So as long as you continue to wait to see how it turns out tomorrow and then take action, you're sitting back and wasting time in your life. There are 12 people who are just completing a Rubicon team, and they did not sit around. In the past 9 weeks, one person raised $2 million for buying apartment buildings. Somebody else wrote a book and got it published in the 9 weeks. Somebody else found the love of their life. Somebody else, in fact, 5 different people started websites and started their own businesses. And this is out of 12 people. Somebody else started painting again and did 50 works of art and have them on a website and selling them already as part of the promise of what she would get done. So my point is that you've got a dream. There's something that you're waiting to take action on, and the question to look at is, what are you waiting for? Why not consider having this be the most productive time of your life rather than a time of your life that you're waiting to see how it all turns out? I would love to have a conversation with you if you have an interest in finding out anything more about the Rubicon team. I do what we call a radical results call, and it's a 45-minute free coaching call that's designed around you seeing what your dream is in life and what's possible. What could you create for yourself beyond the way it's going? And it's a no obligation call. At the end of the call, if you're interested in Rubicon, I'll tell you more about it. If you're not, that's fine too. But either way, I get to do what I love to do, and that is interact with people in a way that they see something beyond the way it is right now, and they see the course of action to take so that people produce results in life. At Rubicon, we talk about it's not what you know, it's what you put into practice. Because you know a lot. I know many of you have done all kinds of courses. You've studied, you've read books, you could listen to podcasts, and now it's an opportunity for you to put that all together and turn it into the results that you'd want in your life. Thank you, everybody who's tuned in live watching this, and I don't always pay good attention to the names here because I'm paying attention to the camera, but I see my friend Randy West is here, and Beverly is here, and Melody and Elliot and Jesse, and many other people will watch this as it plays back the tape. So thank you for giving me your time, and I would love to be able to give you a call. So just private message me and we'll be in touch. There's a new Rubicon team that is starting on September 30th, and already some extraordinary people are part of that. And then we have a Rubicon that's for people who are developing products or have product ideas and want to get it out of their head and out into the world, so we could support you with that. And another one that we're about to announce that has to do with people writing a book and authors. So if you've got some sort of a dream, I would like to have a conversation with you to see if we can make a difference for you. Thank you for watching this, and we'll see you again live here sometime soon. Thank you.